That was an easy.
That was easy, right?
Wow, you guys should be at the beach. You guys look good. Young couple here. I mean, what are you doing?
No friends.
Oh, your friends. Okay, that's still. Well, you look like you could be a couple. So why aren't you at the beach?
He's been my friend for 35 years. I'm not taking his wife.
I mean, this is one of the most beautiful days. There's not many beautiful days like this left in the summer. What are you doing out here protesting? What are you doing?
This is the most important thing you could possibly do. I mean, this is what being a civic.
We're barbecuing and pool partying later, so we're fitting everything in today, okay?
This is more important than a nice time at the beach?
That's the American way. You protest first, you barbecue later.
Oh, okay.
That's what you got to do.
Right. So, how do you feel about the powers that be in Washington marginalizing you guys and saying that you're part of fringe groups and even mocking what you're doing?
It's not surprising. I mean, for years you would go and you would see these protests on the left side, and it would be the most absurd, the rudest. They would yell in, ministers' faces and clergy's faces. Parents holding children's hands. They had no boundaries, and suddenly, you actually have grassroots standing up and saying, "Wait a second, hold on, slow down," and suddenly they're saying, "Oh, wait, you're being rude."
Man, why are you yelling so much? You sound like an angry mob.
Right, nobody said anything about an angry mob. Blood was being thrown on churches.
What's the funny thing about this is that the community organizer is mad that communities are organizing.
Of course.
And to those people, what did you say before? That saying that we're crazy mobs?
Right.
They're going to be on the unemployment line after January 2011.
That's right. Where's Acorn? What's going on? Where's they should show up by now, right?
Well, I'm sure they punched him. I'm joking with you about the angry mob. Obviously, you're not. Yeah.
What are you doing with that video?
I'm going to put it on YouTube, and you guys will be able to see it in about a day or two. I'm just going to go across the country. I want to show the politicians.
What's your name?
My name is Vince Artizone. I've made about 5 videos so far showing what the true Tea Party goers are like, not the so-called angry mob that they're trying to paint you out to be. And so, because...
But there are spies and there are Obama people who are putting down people's emails, taking videos.
Well, I could be one of them, but
you know what? Put me on there.
Judge me by my fruits. By my fruits you shall know me.
Well,
when you see the video, you'll be able to see.
What are you going to tell it so I know what to search for?
I haven't decided yet. Probably Smithhaven Mall Tea Party rally.
Okay.
Smithhaven Mall.
So if I do Smithhaven, then I should be able to find it.
Okay. Pelosi thinks you're a Nazi. What do you have to say to her? Okay, let's see what you got there. Okay. You got any swastikas on you? She claims that you guys are full of swastikas.
The dry cleaner still has mine.
The dry cleaner.
Get a picture of the don't tread on me on the back of the truck there.
Did you hear the latest thing Harry Reid said about the Tea Party goers? He called you guys a bunch of evil mongers. Those were his exact words. Evil mongers. Those were his words. That's that's the Senate Majority Leader. That's a pretty powerful position.
Oh yeah.
And Nancy Pelosi, third in line for the presidency, calling you guys affiliated with the Nazis.
Get a picture of the back of the truck on that.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, this is the group that I signed up for.
Oh yeah, the back windshield. Okay.
So I found out about it.
So it's Vincent, right?
Yes, it is.
On YouTube, there is another video. Ready to go?
Ready to go.
Okay, so
what's your name again, sir?
My name's Vincent.
Okay. What town are you from?
I'm from Brookhaven.
Okay, can you tell us that story you were just telling me about a Canadian woman who went for healthcare?
Right. There's a video that the Cato Institute had done. Actually, it was done by an independent guy, and it's called Two Women. And it's basically the story of two women in the Canadian healthcare system. One of them has lost the ability for her bladder to receive electrical signals from the brain. So her bladder can't function, it can't empty. So that's obviously a problem. She had to have a catheter, and then she had to go to have surgery to get a pacemaker put on. She goes, they say, you're 33rd in line. Great, how long is that going to take? Well, we only do one a month. So that's now close to 3 years that she'd have to wait with a catheter up to empty her bladder.
Unbelievable.
The other woman is a man, actually, who gets a sex change. Instantly. First in line, basically allowed. And the original woman, the one with the bladder problem, her mother, lobbied the Ontario government, a guy named Smithhaven, to help her, to get her to be able to do it, to move ahead. So they said they would pay, and they said you can't pay in Canada. You have to wait. And eventually what happened to her is she got an infection and they had to now surgically remove her bladder, and now she has a bag outside her body that takes care of her original bladder function.
Amazing, amazing. So that story clearly illustrates what could happen when you let the government make healthcare decisions for private citizens.
Exactly.
They prioritize what they consider important and what not. So this person with the sex change operation was considered a higher priority than the woman with the bladder infection?
She was considered a higher priority because there was no one else that was getting that surgery. She was first in line.
Wow.
And it's compartmentalized. We're going to do one bladder change a month or whatever it is.
Right.
We're going to do one sex change a month. And if there's no one waiting for sex changes, boom, you're in. Instead of saying, okay, we've got people here who are going to lose bodily functions, bodily organs. They're going to lose the ability to function as human beings and to live a normal life, but we're making a decision devoid of logic. And that's what's waiting every American right now with this plan. People haven't read the bill. In 1965, they predicted Medicare would only cost something like $13 billion in 1990, and it ended up costing $60 billion or something ridiculous like that. I don't know if those figures are exactly accurate, but they're close. So you can see the wide gap that the government figures show. If they say, oh, this is going to be deficit neutral, I mean, you just have to say, come on,
When has a government program ever been deficit neutral?
It's like Ben Stein, Bueller. I mean, when you hear that the room
well,
is
you know
like,
what they say about you can fool some of the people some of the time, but not all the people all the time.
Well, they're trying to fool everybody, but right here, as you can see, all these people, and this is a blue state. This is New York. Obama won this state by 60%, and there are lots of people. You hear the honking in the background. There's lots of people that are agitated about this.
That's right.
And we're hoping that sense comes in. And the one last thing I want to say is to everyone out there that's listening to this, if you're a Republican, if you're an independent, that that Barack Obama did this, but you know what? That George Bush and the Republicans gave them the ability to do this, because if you look at the 6 years, other than this one, the 6 complete years since 1900, where federal non-defense spending rose the much, 3 of those years are Lyndon Johnson. 3 of those years are George Bush. Okay? And that was from the Reason magazine, which is a libertarian magazine.
Well, that's why Obama constantly milking the past administration. He's playing it for all it's worth.
Right, exactly. However, even though I'm on the right, I see that George Bush did more damage than almost anyone else, and people need to realize that. And they need to realize when they vote Republican in 2010, if they do, that they need to vote for the people that aren't going to run the government the way the Republicans ran it in 2000 through 2006, where they just became Democrats with a different name.
So they need to return to Reagan's principles of conservatism then.
They need to go back to that. They need to go back to
small government,
smaller government.
Taxes, right. That was Reagan's
Bush passed a $152 million stimulus bill. Obama did $787 billion.
And
so right there with interest right now, it's $1 trillion.
And Guyton is talking about a second stimulus bill.
A trillion minutes ago, Jesus Christ didn't walk the earth. I think as somebody was saying, like there was a joke.
No, this is how it goes.
A trillion seconds ago was 1959.
If you made $1 million every day from the day that Jesus was born, and you got $1 million every day, up to the present day, it would be $1 trillion.
Right.
Okay, so that's a lot of time.
This has nothing to do with Christianity. It's just a reference in time
of how much
of 2,000 years of how much $1 trillion is.
Right. No, we're making $1 million every day for 2,000 years. That would add up to $1 trillion.
Correct. So the people that are watching this video out there, you're in control, no matter who you are. Republican, Democrat, Independent, sort of in the middle, sort of unnamed, sort of something. That the people you elect, regardless of party, that the people you elect have to start adhering to smaller government.